Welcome to The Healing Artist. I'm your host, Frida, and friends, we are going to have a bit of a Monday chit-chat episode today. I thought that I was going to be recording an episode with a wonderful human that actually had to just go ahead and reschedule. But I thought, you know what? I'm feeling it. I want to go run my mouth. So here we are. We're going to record an episode for early February. I don't know what to talk about, though, because I thought I was going to be talking to another person. So I grabbed my Diana Cooper Angels of Light cards, and let's see what comes out. And it will inspire what stories we shall tell today. What would it be most beneficial for the collective to hear right now? What kind of teaching do they need at this moment in time? This will be airing in the beginning of February. We want that evergreen content, of course. If there is anything specific that would be most advantageous for the collective to hear at this time. Whoop. Self-selecting and this, yes. Vulnerability. Well, we all love the power of vulnerability. I love the power of vulnerability. I'm about the most vulnerable as you can get. I think that there's a lot of good teaching in being incredibly open, as you are ready to. There is also something called trauma dumping, right? So we don't want to do that. We want to be sharing with our friends that are safe places to land. Yeah, so anyway, okay, let's read the card and let's see what happens. Vulnerability. Only the brave and open-hearted dare to allow themselves to be vulnerable, for it requires courage to take down all the walls and expose your humanness. Your angel guidance is to become aware of your defense mechanisms, which keep you separate from others and the divine. Ask your angels to help you dissolve your masks and barriers so that your fragile, true self can emerge like a butterfly from its cocoon. The reward is freedom, love, and a sense of inner safety. So dare to be vulnerable and open. Vulnerability is my strength, is the affirmation on the card. Beautiful. Love that. All right, let's see. What vulnerability story shall we share today? Something that's really coming forward, because it's been up for me lately, is sort of the loss of this friendship that was an incredibly important catalyst for change, growth, fun in my life. And I'll share about that. So let's see, about 3 or so years ago, I met this other glorious, amazing, beautiful human in a class where we were learning to read the Akashic Records together. And instantly I was drawn to them. I was just like, who's that? I wanted to learn more. And over the course of just a year or so, maybe half a year, we were in different online courses together with, we were in the same circle of working with the same couple of teachers. And eventually, this person, they lived on the East Coast, they came out to the West Coast for a retreat. And the retreat was off hours away in a car. And they flew into the San Francisco airport, and we went together. We went to the retreat together, so I drove them. And the two of us got to know each other on the car ride. I just really liked them. At the retreat, the two of us ended up sharing a room. And that was really the spark of this friendship that then we had for 3 years. The two of us both love travel, and we took multiple trips together over the years. We drove up and down the Pacific Northwest coastline. We went to Sedona, Arizona together. We took like mini weekend trips all over the Bay Area and beyond. And this person really ignited in me my inner child, like my inner 5-year-old. The two of us would just get laughing, and we would have the best time enjoying each other's company. And They say that friendship lasts for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And this friendship ran fiery hot and was super close for like this 3-year period of time. And then something happened and it was like the closing of that door. And it's really interesting because I thought that this friendship would be forever. I thought that I'd made a best friend for the rest of my lifetime. And there was a lot of feelings in this friendship where I was just like, oh, we've known each other in other lives. This is just how we're coming together this time around together. And yeah, there was just really a lot of grief and sadness when the friendship ended. And it kind of came out of the blue for me that it was over. But in looking back, I actually don't know why I got dumped entirely. And I don't need to know, because I respect this person and love them so deeply. Like, I don't need to know why I got dumped. And on the way out, they really wanted to hurt my feelings, and they did and said some stuff on the way out that hurt me so much. I understood that there was a defensiveness in that to erase the friendship. Now, I don't want to erase the friendship. The friendship was wonderful for 3 years. We had all of that glorious travel together. I've never laughed so hard. I was laughing like I was a little kid. And I didn't have child friendships like that. So to discover someone to have that friendship with when I was in my 40s was just like heaven on earth. It was magic. And it just was so easy. And yeah, I don't know. When they wanted, though, to hurt me on the way out, what that made me do was realize that something had happened. I did something that triggered the hell out of them. And instead of like having a conversation about it, just what happened was they shut down and decided to cut me out of their lives. I feel 100% clean with this friendship in a way that I don't want to take it away. It was beautiful, and it's okay that it's over, but I wouldn't take back a second of any of it, including the part where I think that might be why she doesn't like me anymore. Because it was real, raw, honest, and true, and I don't take back anything that happened. The getting cut out part, though, I understand. Not only as, so this person, here's the grief. This person knew me better than anyone else, really. I mean, my sister knows me really, really, really well. My sister and I are really, really, really close. And I have a handful of other pretty close girlfriends. But this person really, really, really knew me. They knew all my fears. They knew the struggles that I've gone through. They were with me through the entirety of really just clearing the last vestiges of this eating disorder that I had for about 25 years. They were with me through that. I mean, they really knew my insides. The two of us used to meet every Saturday morning, and we'd practice spiritual stuff because they're also an energy healer. And they knew me. They knew me really, really, really well. I never lied to them. I was always absolutely open, transparent, and, why I'm thinking about it, vulnerable. I was the most vulnerable with this person. And how I knew the friendship was really over because I would have continued to try to work through it. I would have kept going back and trying to make things figure it out. Let's talk it through. Let's talk it through. How I know that they don't want to talk it through, and how I know that they're just cutting me out and I'm done, is because of the way that they ended it. And I know that because of, here's some more vulnerability, a friendship I had in high school. So I remember when I was in high school, I had such a hard childhood in terms of just not really having any close connections because of the sexual abuse that I'd experienced. I was a weird kid. I also just had a lot of like different multisensory style experiences that were happening to me. I was not okay as a child. I was not okay. And when I went into high school, I had moved out of the situation from the place that I was in, and I actually started to develop some friendships. And I had one of those really soulmate friendships. This girl, we're going to call her A. And she was a soulmate connected friendship. And if I'm remembering correctly, I think that she was a year older than me in school. I don't remember. I think she was a year older than me. But she was a friend that the two of us lived fairly close to each other in the city, and we just had a great time together. And it was that same sort of really super hot running, really hot friendship of laughing like we were kids and spilling our guts to each other of our deepest hopes and dreams and what do we want, and just, I never had a friend like this before. And maybe when I was a sophomore and she was a junior, she got a boyfriend. Oh my God, I was so jealous. Now, this is how many years of retrospect that it's very easy for me to look back at this and share it and see it. But I didn't understand it at the time. All I knew is that the sun rose and set on this friendship. It was absolutely everything. And all of a sudden, I wasn't the center of that anymore. Like, the attention was going elsewhere. I didn't feel connected to her anymore. She went off in a different direction. Listen, it's that reason, season, lifetime. We had a season together. It was awesome. But I didn't know how to let it go. So instead, I became absolutely vicious and turned on her in the only way that an incredibly traumatized, hurt 15, 16-year-old girl can. And if you've never been a 15, 16-year-old traumatized girl, just mean girl doesn't begin to even describe it. Just vicious. I have done so much work on myself to go back and love myself and forgive myself for how nasty I was. And I was never healed enough to see this person later in life in order to apologize to them. But my Lord, I've apologized to their higher self. I've apologized to them on a spiritual plane. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, what a nasty person I was. So I know, and she didn't do anything wrong. She did not do anything wrong. She just went after something else that she wanted, and all of a sudden I got cut out in a way that I didn't like. She wasn't even really cutting me out. It was just she'd had different friends. She went and had a different friend group, and I wasn't the center of that world anymore. So I understand the direct correlation to the friend that I just lost. And it's really about my desire for expansiveness, my desire of not wanting to hold my world so small anymore. I want to expand. I want to be in community with more and more and more people. I want to be in community with you. You're listening to me. We're chatting. There's like, I'm talking to you. You can always respond below. You can reach out to me. Like, let's hang out. There's a level of, where are my people at? where is community? We are moving towards a reality and a world together in which we need to take care of each other. Like, let's inspire one another. Let's create the world that we want to live in. And that is like community driven. And like, I'm doing this podcast for a lot of reasons. One, I wanted to get better at public speaking, but also, man, I'm looking for my people. Where are my people at? Let's hang out. So here's something where I noticed with my friend when she wanted to hurt me and how she hurt me. Old Frida, like Philly Frida, old Frida, would have attacked at her throat like a wolf or a dog. Just I would have gone in for the kill because I know her as much as she knows me. There are about 1,000 things that I could have just, like, you think you're hurting me? I'm going to rip you to shreds and I'm going to gut you and take your skin off, and here's your intestines are hanging down from a pole. Like, there is a level of the pain and suffering that I was in the past that would have gone towards that vicious ripping somebody else apart. I can't even deal with you. Like, just like you make me feel bad, I will eviscerate you. I will eviscerate you. And like, that did not even occur to me. And that is like one of those moments of growth in my life that I'm like, holy cazoli. All this healing work has come to this place where it's like, I can have this incredible heart-wrenching breakup. And instead of my heart contracting, my heart opened with compassion. My heart opens with compassion for this person because I hurt them in such a way that they can't even look at this. I have to get written out and it's not even available for contemplation. At least that was my experience of this. So retroactively, everything that happened in that friendship is just dissolved. It's not there anymore. And I just think back to that high school friend I had, A, and how I just wanted to annihilate her and ripped apart and would deny that incredible heart-connected friendship that we'd had up into that point because she hurt me so badly. I don't exactly know what I did, but I did something. I remember I had a friendship when I first moved out to the Bay Area. They were a friend that were connected with my roommate that I was living with in the city, in the Mission District. And this friend was, I didn't really know anybody out here. They were really someone who kind of cracked me up because I never quite got them. And we were kind of a fiery friendship in that we would have these disagreements and not talk to each other for a while. Or I used to upset this person, I think, a fair amount. I'd do something and it would bother the hell out of them and they'd yell at me and disappear. And then I'd see them around again and we'd end up doing stuff together. And so it was one of those like push-pull, fiery kind of things. And I remember that the two of us ultimately did end up getting pretty close, and we were doing a bunch of stuff together. Oh my God. I'm just seeing this connection for the first time myself. She got a boyfriend. Oh my gosh. And we had gone on this trip together to Mexico. We were all in Mexico, and the boyfriend was in Mexico and all of this. And like, this boyfriend freaked me out so much. They were so odd. And like the behavior and the witnessing the behavior of the friend with the boyfriend, and just like, it was like, I did not have emotional regulation. I did not have boundaries. God, I was 26 years old or something. Like, I just did not at all know which end was up. I was not regulated. I was a mess. Drinking a ton, smoking cigarettes. Like, I was doing all the things. And I was like, this boyfriend, this person's bad news. I don't want anything to do with them. They freak me out. I don't really like the way my friend is with this person. And then there had been a handful of other things that it was just like, this isn't for me. Like, this is not a friendship that I prefer. But it was probably pretty out of left field for her, but I ended up sending her an email, and I said some things to her that was like, I don't want this friendship. I'm just like nipping it in the bud in a way that wasn't particularly nasty. It was nasty on my part. And I feel bad about that one too. But it was like I had done something to be like, this is the last email that this is the last vestige of this. It's just done. Like, we were cutting this off. Well, there's not a lot of emotional maturity in that. And she never had any idea why. And she never had any idea it was just because that boyfriend of hers freaked me the hell out. And I was just like, ooh, that guy's creepy. No idea. And like, she was head over heels for him. And that wasn't like, and I wasn't going to say something like that to my friend. It was more just like, I'm not interested in being party to anything around this anymore. So that happened too. That's in my past. Boy, I'm sorry I ended it that way too. This is how we learn and grow. Done a lot of work forgiving myself for that one. I never saw her around to apologize to her either, but we'll call her C. And my God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I did not have the emotional depth, maturity, or understanding of my own nervous system to even be able to describe in words what was happening with all of that. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, man. Anyway, that was another one where, like, my heart closed. So I am not unfamiliar with situations where friendships burn hot and then they disappear. I just got to be on the receiving end of what that looks like this time. And I watched how I would have responded in the past, which was aggressively with anger, rip the throat out, my goodness. And I just went, nope, we're going to open the heart. And how can I still love them. I'm still doing a massive amount of grieving. I grieve just every day. There's usually a period of time where I'll grieve, and sometimes little tears come into my eye because things will happen throughout the day, and I'm like, well, they're the only person that would understand that. That's normally the thing that I would have texted to them. The other day, I was taking a walk in the woods, and this walk that I have done so many times. I do not even know how many times I've done this walk, but a lot. 20 plus. There's a place in the woods where there used to be this abandoned mental institution, and like there is just this like foundation. You can still see where the foundation of it is, and there's still a retaining wall in the back. Then you're like walking through. Oh my God, there was a wall, a high wall, that I have done this walk, I do not know how many times. I have never, ever seen this wall there before. This wasn't there in the past, at least in my cognitive understanding. I didn't take it in, but it's like part of the path that you're like walking from here to there, and I've never noticed this wall before. And then it was there, and I'm noticing it, and I'm just like, my mind was completely blown, and I was just like, oh my God, I have to call this person and tell him. And then the grief. Oh God, then there was so much grief. I know they don't want me to reach out to them. I know that by the way that this friendship ended. I understand. And it's all okay. It's all okay. A reason, a season, or a lifetime. And man, oh man, we had a good time. We had a really good time in the time that we had together. Nothing but love. Lots of love. Oh, you guys. So Vulnerability. Only the brave and open-hearted dare to allow themselves to be vulnerable, for it requires courage to take down the walls and expose your humanness. Your angel guidance is to become aware of your defense mechanisms which keep you separate from others and the divine. Ask your angels to help you dissolve your masks and barriers so that your fragile, true self can emerge like a butterfly from its cocoon. The reward is freedom, love, and a sense of inner safety. So dare to be vulnerable and open. Vulnerability is my strength. And I truly, deeply believe that. I would invite you to get to know yourself vulnerably. Sometimes we don't know who we are, or there's aspects of ourselves that we were refusing to look at. Darkness so deep, so great. Places where you think, I am not worthy of even looking at that. I refuse to. That's not part of me. I push it away, push it away, push it away. How can we truly be seen by another if we are refusing to truly see ourselves? So just some food for thought. And I appreciate our time together this morning. If you would like to connect, you can visit my website, fridahealing.com. You can book a connection call. We'll hop on a Zoom together. We can meet each other. I have services to offer. I have 30-minute, 1 hour, and 90-minute healing sessions available. I have classes that I run. Once a week in the mornings, I run a meditation circle. It's called Return to Self-Love. There you will get it's 1 hour teaching. There's 30 minutes teaching and a 30-minute meditation. And then that practice is sent to you in an email, broken apart so that you have your meditation practice to then use at least 4 more times during the week. You have to be accountable and do it yourself. And the full class recording and all of that good stuff for you to use at your discretion to review and whatnot. And that is if you are a person seeking to develop your own spiritual practice. This is going to teach you to get in touch with spirit. It's going to give you the tools that you need and the guidance to sit your butt down and have a meditation practice. So you walk away each week with a guided meditation, but then you do need to arrive to this practice and sit down and do it. That is a subscription service, so your credit card gets charged monthly whenever you join. That is open to all, and you are welcome to sign up on the Return to Self-Love page on my website. By the time this airs, we will already be in Frequency, and that is the program that Elizabeth is teaching through the month of February. As soon as this Frequency begins, it's going to be a closed container, so that will no longer be available. However, I am told that Frequency will become a program that will be available for you to order as sort of like a course afterwards. You can take the course. Fridays, we have Frequency Friday. So ask Elizabeth a question and she will be able to answer that on Fridays. Friends, it has just been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me. I wanted to tell you that I love you. God, Universe, Source loves you. And I hope that you have a wonderful day.